bada bing, bada boo. Let's go on to the next one for you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. On this one, we're talking about another Star Wars Black Series figure, and this one was probably my second most anticipated behind The Mandalorian, and that is the new Stormtrooper. Well guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're focusing primarily on the Stormtrooper here. On your screen you should see some beauty shots, but I mean, he's a Stormtrooper. You should pretty much know what to expect. In the package, you're going to get a single blaster and the Trooper himself. Now, the Troopers come out a couple times already. There's been the Stormtrooper Commander, which was a GameStop Gaming Greats exclusive, a Shock Trooper, which was also a gaming, I believe like a GameStop Battlefront 2 exclusive, but it's been a minute since we've had just the standard plain Stormtrooper. But I do want to preface this review by saying, I expected more out of this figure. So when it comes to Star Wars Black Series figures, the bar has been set pretty high. A lot of the newer sculpts are going to have that face printing technology, and they've been re-releasing figures such as Sabine, Ezra, Kanan, Ahsoka, and a bunch more, including the new Episode 2 Obi-Wan and Anakin, and they look absolutely great. So really, when the Stormtrooper came out, I was like, man, they can't mess this up. He's just a standard old Stormtrooper. But your mileage may vary. Upon looking at this figure, there's a couple inconsistencies. So if you look at the helmet on some of this B-roll here, you'll notice that there's some misalignment with the paint around the black strip among the helmet there. And honestly, I would have expected a little bit more attention to detail when it comes to these figures. Now, I know these figures are mass-produced, but for $24.99 for a standard Stormtrooper, I just expect the paint to be put on a little bit better. That said, the real reason why people are going to be picking up this figure is for the new articulation. So, Stormtroopers are notorious for having really bad ball joints, ankle joints, and like posability. Specifically with the Stormtrooper Commander, a lot of people had some really not so good articulation around the joints. I'm going to say this new Stormtrooper doesn't seem to have those issues. My only thing that I do have a concern about is the paint issues on this guy. It's hard to get a figure wrong that's just white and black. But, you know, with a little work, you could probably fix it up on your own. That said, another weird small inconsistency with the Stormtrooper is going to be that the helmet is actually a little bit tinier than the other Stormtroopers, which is a little weird, but you really wouldn't tell unless you put two figures next to each other. Now, I know a lot of people like to army build with Stormtroopers, so this guy's going to hopefully be a little bit easier to get. I got this guy at my local Target for $24.99. Now, the new Star Wars Black Series wave is right now only available at Target because they get their shipments apparently months early, but you can still pre-order this Stormtrooper on Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth. The only thing is that it's not officially supposed to ship until like October, so you may be waiting a couple months, and with figures like The Mandalorian or maybe the more sought-after action figures, they may take a little bit longer. Stormtroopers though, I would say if you don't own an army of Stormtroopers, or if you're looking to do photography, or you're looking to have a whole bunch to recreate a scene from the movie, now is the time to buy your Stormtroopers. Because finding just basic white Stormtroopers you would think would be super easy, but it's not. A lot of the times the Stormtroopers are specialist troopers or they have like damage all over them. I myself am a big fan of just the standard white Stormtrooper because there's a lot of customization you can still do with it. You can put some burning debris on them. You can pose them with a whole bunch of others. That said, what's my review on this figure? So, articulation aside, because his articulation is great. So the articulation on this figure is as follows. The head will move 360 degrees. Arms have the standard shoulder, ball joint, and wrist joints. The legs can do the splits about that far. That said, he's got knee joints, he's got ankle joints, and I mean, you know, he bends pretty far forward and pretty far back. What more can you ask for a Stormtrooper, right? A couple things. Maybe some, you know, aligned paint for a Stormtrooper would be nice. That said, though, I'm just kind of, nitpicking on the new Stormtrooper. I would personally give this figure a 3 out of 5 Jawas. Now don't take it as me being harsh, but this figure is going to get a 3 out of 5 Jawas. It was good, but it wasn't great. The paint is really bugging me, knowing that I'm going to have to go in after the fact and adjust his helmets. That said, I'm really excited to get a whole army, maybe get another 4 or 5 of these guys, and just have them kind of posed in like a ready stance next to Vader. So, if you don't already own an army of Stormtroopers, or if you're looking to get one, now's never been the better time. I'm going to leave the DCPI number for your local Target down in the description, so if you want to try to find one yourself, you can. Well, everybody, that's the review for the Star Wars 2020 Stormtrooper. Hopefully you can get your hands on a couple, if not at least one, and we'll see you on the next review.